Great. So, the fourth session of Scum and Villainy. Last time we did a job for the night speakers via your fixer, Jezri, and it was determined that you would like to work for them some more, and specifically in the realm of bounty uh, hunting, because we wanted to revisit our roots. And we're going to, as the system dictates, we're going to cut right to the action, but let me give you the brief here. So as you're flying around, dealing with the various loose ends of the last job, taking care of your ship and whatnot, you are contacted by an encrypted individual who, through though they still remain encrypted and hazy in the hollow projections, and you can only track them to a certain extent. They inform you that the speaker is indeed Doram, the night speaker leader, and Doram personally thanks you for the job that you completed, and also gives you a second one should you choose to accept it. So the distorted voice lays the deal out for you. This is all in the Breck system, where we had the last mission on the planet Shimaya. So while you're flying around in the Breck system, you get this message from Duram, and the job is a retrieval operation. So basically a bounty on an item. Pirates, you have been told, have hijacked the hegemonic luxury cruiser, so a passenger ship basically, but a large one, in the IOTA system. Now, Duram cares about this because the Night Speakers had an undercover secret operative on board named Garel, Garel. And when the pirates captured the luxury cruiser, they also managed to pick out Garel from the crowd, basically, and spotted him for something more than he pretended to be. And as a result, the pirates, well, they captured him, locked him up, took his encrypted communication device, and also the artifact that Garel was bringing to Doran.
So,
Now,
have they
yep,
asked for a ransom?
yes, that's the problem. The pirates have they've done very little as far as Doram can tell. They should still be within the IOTA system. Doram doesn't know where, but they should still be there because he has people looking out the gateways out of the system, and they haven't left. The cruiser hasn't left, so it's still somewhere within the vicinity. However, pirates
So,
are no.
have
Yep.
they taken this ship
Yes.
with all of its passengers?
Yes. Yes. They've come aboard and commandeered the luxury cruiser, and now, being the pirates that they are apparently following some of these dark lanes, which are sort of like hyperspace routes within systems that aren't officially mapped out. So basically, smuggling routes and sort of dangerous waters. So they took it somewhere there, presumably, because Doram can't find Doram can't find the cruiser with like his resources in the system, and the task is a very basic one: get on board the Horizon, which is the name of the luxury cruiser, find the artifact that Garel was bringing to Doram, and bring it back. And there's 10 cred in it for you. Doram doesn't care about anything else. If you can't extract Garel, that's fine. That's not a part of the mission. Anything else, just purely collateral. What he wants is the artifact back. And yeah.
I'm assuming that having his bloke back as well would be nice.
He makes no mention of that. Speakers are even halfway decent people. That might be a bonus if you get Garrel back as well.
Okay.
But there's no mention of that in your
What do we know
communications.
about the other people who've been kidnapped? Are there any potential allies that we can call on this? Other people who would have received ransoms as well? Because if there's going to be other people going in at the same time, then I'd rather we were all working together.
You get the idea that, at least the way that Doram presents it, the idea is that they somehow managed to pick, either maybe it was blind luck, that they picked out Garrel, and when they found the encrypted night speaker communications device, they were like, oh, we're gonna cash in on this guy. So Doram seems to suspect that they might not have put out other notices, and it might be very difficult to handle like a stationary ransom point for multiple different individuals, because that might get the police up in your business real quick.
Are we able to get any details about what the artifact is that Garrel's bringing, just so that like we know we've got the right thing?
You get this hazy picture of a moderately sized. It looks like maybe a jewelry box about this big. And within it, it's supposed to be an artifact that Doram calls the Aleph key. I'll put it in chat.
There you go. You know you've been role-playing too long when you actually knew how to spell that before it went in the chat box.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and, obviously I'm not just gonna come out. Actually, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm reckless. I'm just gonna go. Is this an artifact? I'll sort of consider like, oh, you know, maybe I could be a bit salty. I'm just gonna, do you know what? We haven't got time. Is this an artifact that's connected with the way?
I think there's.
I'll say it. I'm only asking because I have a particular sensitivity to artifacts that are strong in the way. So if it is, I may be able to use that to aid in the recovery.
There's a silence, and then simply put, yes.
Okay.
Is the answer.
It shows a way, but maybe not the way you expect. I'm getting a certain vibe from this mission. I'm all aboard, but oh dear.
Well, I think the main issue. I mean, obviously we're going to accept, unless anyone's got like a powerful reason not to.
Yeah.
But I think as part of our like sort of discussion that we'll no doubt be having after we've accepted. Oh, can we just check before we accept? You said this was like a bounty on an item. Is this like a legit? Would this qualify as a legitimate bounty?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
Doram
I'm going to do it anyway, even if it's not.
Yeah.
But
Yep. It's pirates, right? And it's legit people being harmed by pirates. Unless you drop some hegemonic bodies, you should be good.
What are the chances of that happening? But see, I'm thinking that might actually do our rep some good if we're like the guys who like bring down these pirates. Like whether we recover the artifact or not, obviously we'll try to. But if we're seen to be like fighting like pirates who are breaking hegemonic law, that might actually be quite good for us.
Yeah.
In terms of our like rep. But I think our main problems go Viper and Mashishi. I think our main problem is going to be actually locating the ship, because if the night speakers with all their abilities can't locate it, and it could be anywhere on these dark lanes, how, by the grace of the way, are we going to locate it?
Do we know anyone from there? Anyone that's got experience with that area?
What kind of friends do we have on our character sheets?
I've got one that's not been useful yet, who was a drug dealer.
Potentially, if it's strong in the way as we expect, I've got both Horrocks, who is a former teacher of mine in the sort of the way, and also I've got his other apprentice, who like I'm not so fond of, Blish, who I could potentially call on, but like they're going to want a bit of something if we like call on them.
Yeah, Blish doesn't.
Yeah, Blish don't work for free.
Yeah, Blish isn't like good. But I think Mushishi's drug peddling friend would probably be able to help you, because there is let's talk about the IOTA system where you're headed now. So the planets in IOTA orbit a pair of semi-detached binary stars, a yellow sun, IOTA 1, and a brown dwarf, IOTA 2. By the time the hegemony arrived here, there were 2 asteroid belts. One of the belts still has a large portion of a shattered planet remaining in its midst. Although both belts were clearly planets once upon a time, nobody is sure what sort of the guild wasted no time in setting up the IOTA shipyards, which service many ships in the sector. So rather an industrial place, and they produce I think the number was at least 1/4 of all the products in this sector, in this system. So they're cranking out a lot of stuff, and that has brought a fairly sort of vibrant black market community here as well, including a lot of drugs for the poor people working in the factories. So I think Jezri can probably hook you up with some of the dark lane routes.
Jakev.
Oh yeah, Jakev. Yeah. Jakev.
I think Jezri was one in a previous story.
Yeah, Jezri is the sort of higher class version of Jakev. So Jakev is able to provide you with that information, so you can start scouring the lanes, and we will start with you guys having found the horizon with the help of Jakev, and then we will have to figure out your plan of approach here. So yeah, I think we can get started with that. So let me refer to the start of a job. Here we go. Okay, so you we're jumping forward. Smash cut. You are in it's a Star Wars field of stars on black, and you are drifting in the nothingness, and your sensors can tell that there's a piece of this asteroid belt that you've arrived to, and you can tell that within the asteroid field the Horizon luxury cruiser lies at the moment. You've successfully located them. They haven't seen you yet. What is your plan of, I suppose, getting back the Aleph key for Doran?
Can I just ask, what ransom was it that we were told to bring, or that he was told to give, and where was he told to give it?
I wonder if he would have even told you that. You might have asked, and I think
because it'd be useful information.
Yeah.
Whether we've got it or not, knowing what it's supposed to be.
I think it's probably in the sort of realm of like several million money units. So basically, like ridiculous sum of money that only someone of like extremely noble status or high up in the government could be able to afford.
What form would that take? I mean, would it be like a precious metal or a precious gem, or would it be as some sort of a computer object?
Yeah, probably like a
Carries the credit.
suitcase computer, I think.
Right. So, yeah, we need to have a mock-up, whether it's actually got any credits on or not. I want us to have a fake computer. Viper, any suggestions, any thoughts? Are we going to try and talk our way in, or have you got a way to like sneak onto that ship?
Or are we kicking in the door?
I mean, have they got like open hangars, or would we need to find a way to access the hangar doors to get in? I assume that a small ship like ours can land.
Yeah, you could definitely land. It's a cruiser, so you could definitely land on there. And it's a passenger ship, so it's not really made for like deflecting. It will have some sort of doors or a field, but you could definitely, and that would be the first obstacle in our plan. Then, if you wanted to, like, let's bomb rush the ship, that would be our first obstacle, and that would be the first roll, trying to land on the ship.
Viper, before Zenith gets back, because I know what his answer's going to be, do you want to kick the back doors in?
Well, my suggestion was, do we know what kind of crew complement we'll have on board? Like, what are the numbers? That would determine if we're going to go in ballsy or more softly.
You mean how many pirates?
Yes, like
no idea.
No idea. I think it goes against my better nature, but I feel since this is deep space, we may want to be a bit on the cautious side. We don't know the condition of the ship. We don't know, if they've taken hostages. There could be innocent.
You need to go and grab your dog again, dude. It's 8 o'clock. The ritual has begun. Do you need to go and grab your dog?
My dog?
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, not at the moment. Someone else is dealing with that at this time.
Fair enough.
That's why I was muted, because there was some barking going on. I was trying to... Everyone talking.
So have we all agreed that we're going to assault the pirate ship, then?
Well...
I told you you'd want to kick their back doors in.
All I'm going to say is I'm a pretty damn fine pilot. And I think I could probably get us in without them noticing.
What, onto the ship? Onto the ship without...
Yeah, fly underneath its. If it's not a military grade vessel, it's.
Can I suggest that we take heavy gear this time?
Oh yeah, believe I'm taking a heavy load. I'm coming with like 2 heavy blasters, like lightsabers.
Yeah, your blaster shoots blasters.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, because of the type of ship we've got, that the Cerberus is particularly good when it comes to like deception and infiltration and stuff like that. So I think Viper's plan does have merit. Potentially deception / infiltration, like come alongside, maybe like cut our way on board, and see how we go from there.
Is anyone good at electronics?
It's not really my field of expertise, if I'm honest. Although you'll be pleased to know I. Since our last engagement, I have been practicing in the gym, etc., and I've been improving my combat skills. So I'm ready, Viper. Let's go get that way artifact.
Okay. Because I was thinking maybe we could get underneath the ship, dock with it, possibly send in some kind of drone to scout out, at least to give us an idea of what kind of numbers. And then we can navigate. If we can get in there and get the artifact without them even knowing we were there, that would be excellent.
The thing is, how many drones do we have? I'm not aware of us having a vast reserve of them.
Possibly none, but that's something. We could put something together.
Viper has an Urbot, which is, and you're free to define it, but if you want to go for like a standard idea, it's your R2D2.
Yep, sure.
Okay, so the plan currently is to fly alongside, sort of stealth dock with their ship. Now, have you given any thoughts as to what we're going to do about their ship's sensors? Because they're going to have sensors. If we just like rock up underneath them and sort of like burn our way through the hull, they're going to notice.
really depends. If it's a civilian vessel.
Oh, I don't know, why did I think of it before? You know what we can do, don't you? The old favourite. They're probably like in or near one of these like asteroid belts.
Mm-hmm.
We find an asteroid that our systems can predict is going to go near them. We like grapple ourselves onto the bottom of it, and we just float along with the asteroid. When it gets near to their ship, we detach and attach to the bottom of them, then burn away. And so hopefully, if they just see this asteroid like going past them, and like it'll probably mess with their sensors a bit anyway, they'll just be like, "Oh, it's an asteroid." And what are the chances they're going to be like, "Oh, let's scan that asteroid just to see if there's a ship on it."
Nice. Yep.
Sounds good.
So my question then is, what to do once we get onto the ship? Because like, if you guys just want to go in with like the blasters and like the precursor lightsabers, then plasma swords, then I'm all up for it. But I'm guessing Mishishi probably doesn't want us just like carving our way through the decks.
I think we'd probably be safer to like try and locate this thing that we're looking for and retrieve it.
Well, I'm hoping when we get to the ship,
like before we get noticed.
Well, I'm hoping when we get to the ship,
our way out.
I might, because my attune's like maxed now. I've been focusing on the way on my precursor artifact, so I'm weighed up to the max. So I'm hoping when we get there, I can potentially use. That's why I asked if it was a way artifact, not because I want it for myself. So that I can hopefully so that I can hope so I can hopefully like attune myself to it and like narrow down where it is. But if once we've like located it, we've still got to get from wherever we've grappled on to wherever it's held, nab it without being seen, and there's going to be cameras and security measures and whatnot, and then we've got to get back to the ship. And like the instant we get pegged on one of these cameras and they're like, "Oh, you are blatantly not a passenger or a member of the crew," we're going to get got. Although if we know, like you say, if we know what sort of people are on board, like whether it's hegemonic citizens or like rich people or whatever, if we dress appropriately, we might get away with it for a bit because they might mistake us for like passengers in a slightly more sort of infiltration-y sort of way.
Ooh,
yeah, you know that
sounds like you're suggesting a light load, John. I heartily disapprove.
it's a rich people cruise, so.
Although, you know what we could do, don't you? We could take Viper's like R2 unit on board, fill the R2 unit with like all of our tat, then like, oh yeah, well we just rich snobs walking around with our droid. Obviously we've got a droid, we're rich, why wouldn't we have one? Then if it hits the fan, we pop the top, grab the gear. Yeah, I believe we all have to take the same load.
You don't.
Or do we not?
Yep.
I could go in with a light load and scout the place out a bit. I'd probably look the least inconspicuous.
Well,
I could even pass as a pirate.
I'm probably going to have to go because I'm going to be the one who's like sensing where it is, and obviously the nearer I get to it, the more easier it's going to be for me to focus on exactly where it's located.
In which case, I'll.
Go ahead, Hannah.
Also, if we sorry, go ahead.
You pointed out the thing about different loads. You could, no, because they're not exactly going to be letting those passengers wander about anyway. Also, sorry, I was going to suggest that you have like person plus butler and somebody be dragging whatever equipment they need.
Or we just disguise ourselves as pirates and we just go in balls out heavy load.
Yeah.
Yar.
Because like whoever's checking the cameras, like
what do we know about these pirates other than they're pirates?
They're bad dudes.
If you want to gather information, please feel free to roll an action roll using one of your.
I rolled a 6 there.
Yeah, what is it that you're doing to find out about the pirates?
Right, we're going to be quizzing, what's he called? Jakev.
That guy.
Yeah. So
we're going to be quizzing him about it when we're collecting our maps from him.
Mm-hmm. And you want to know what?
What does he know about the pirates?
Yeah, just a bit of general background, and obviously,
Are they like some actual group
yeah,
as defined by game terms?
what sort of gear
And
do
if
they
so, what
commonly
does he know
carry?
about them?
Yeah, but basically, we want information that's going to allow us at a passing glance to like disguise ourselves. So if he's like, oh, every one of those pirate, obviously this is a silly example, every one of those pirates carries like a giant plasma cannon, we're like, all right, we're going to all need to carry a giant plasma cannon, but we just need a bit of general background information on them so we can pass for members of the crew.
Yeah. So the pirates, most likely that are operating, at least in this system, would be from a particular group. They would probably be, especially given their modus operandi, which is ransoming shit, they are probably Draxler's raiders. And the sort of description you get for these raiders is that they're violent pirates who disable ships before they board, they ransom the crew and the cargo, and they're being led by this fairly apparently ambitious and bloodthirsty leader called Draxler. And Draxler has successfully made quite an organization of the raiders. It wasn't always Draxler's. He took it over, but he's been successfully growing his operation to the point where Jakev feels comfortable stating that, yeah, it's probably the raiders because everyone else has been shanked and left to die by the raiders. So
good to know.
See, my sort of like balls out guns and weaponry is looking like it might actually work now. Because if they're all like bloodthirsty raiders, if we stroll in and we're just like, oh, I've just got a couple of blaster pistols, they're probably like, oh, you're not one of us, are you? As they're all like covered in blood with like laser cutlasses and like plasma cannons.
Yeah, laser cutlass. Yarr!
Yarg.
Here be my plasma eye batch.
This is my plaret.
Yeah, they're not exactly like the coronate space marine reavers from various sci-fi media.
Bloody well,
but they're ruthless pirates.
Right, heavy load it is.
Just where are we when we're having this discussion?
I suppose this would be either before you leave or on the ship.
Yeah, this is on the way while we're looking for them.
Yeah.
All right, is it on the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a very impolite word in in space pirate, and then you see I kind of storm off and start lighting a cigar.
Why?
You see me like going into like going to where the vehicles are. You can hear in the background like slamming and banging.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna go and pick up the deck of playing cards. Go out to the hangar and start dealing a hand of whatever game it is we're playing. Space Tarot, wasn't it?
Yeah, the hegemonic tarot. Yeah.
And then I'm just going to put my bet down and sit and wait for you to calm down enough and come and put your bet down as well. Because while you're not flying the ship, we're not going to land on the cruiser. So let's get this dealt with.
This is true.
And while we're not dealing with it, let's play some cards.
I come back about 10 minutes later with a bit of grease on one of my arms, a drink in my hand, and still smoking the cigar. I guess.
You alright?
That news wasn't exactly what I'd wanted to hear.
Well, what's up?
Those guys, they're we got a personal beef with each other.
Now, you say that. Do they know you personally? Like, as in, if we get on board, are they suddenly going to be like, "Oh my god, it's Viper. We need to like deal with him right now"?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Are they going to recognise your face?
Yes.
Right.
They probably may think I'm somebody else, but yeah, they're gonna recognize my face. Absolutely.
Okay, so you're gonna need to either like grow a beard in record time, or we're gonna have to disguise your face somehow.
Yeah.
Or we just offer to sell him to them, and that gets us all on the ship.
I was kind of hoping not to run into those guys for a long time.
Well, look,
Shit.
have you got like a mask or like a helmet or anything you can wear? Anything that will cover your face, like
Sure,
a
yeah.
breather mask or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
There we go then. Slap a breather mask on yourself. Boom.
It's a little more complicated than that, then, if it's personal. I'm not sure I can control myself in these guys. Depending on what I see them doing, depending on what happens.
Right.
Just
Do you want to tell us?
Just calm yourself.
He just kind of like drinks the drink and then fills everyone else's drink up with it and then gets himself one.
Yeah, just take a breath, Viper.
Yeah.
Listen to the voice of the way echoing through the universe. Then calmly tell us your story.
Tell us the way. So it is weird, but technically, is it the current leader, Yanis, or the past? Yeah, the current leader is kind of my father.
Ah,
Wait, hold on a second.
when you say kind of your father,
Yeah.
How kind of?
So he like most humans, most meat bags, they have a family, they have a mother, an uncle, usually a dickhead. You know, they have a son, daughter. He had a son. Something happened to that son one day. Something unpleasant, I'm led to believe. And in his grief, he decided he wasn't going to let that slide. So, using his amassed wealth and contacts, he made another son, and another son.
Are you talking about clones?
Surprise.
so he's the guy that arranged for you to be cloned.
Yeah.
However, that might sort of stand as an because I'm presuming that he made, as you say, he made more than one clone.
As far as I know, there's just the two of us, but there could be more. I haven't been around for a while. Apparently, I wasn't a good enough son.
Well,
So, are there likely to be more people with your face on that ship?
It's possible, but honestly, I've not seen him in a good few years. I've done 2 tours at least since I left. I look different, but they'll recognize me.
well, as we've said, disguising you isn't a problem.
No,
It's more a case of can you, and answer honestly, there's no shame if you can't, will you be able to control yourself and keep it together long enough to carry out this mission?
It depends who's there, really.
Okay.
If it's just some schmuck, then maybe I can just overlook it for now. Getting the artifacts, just a job, isn't it? It's a job we're doing.
That's it. You need to focus on the work.
But
One foot in front of the other, and let's just get it done.
if my father's there, if my parent, progenitor, whatever you want to call him, or one of his sons, I don't know, man. It may compromise us if they know I'm there. They may decide to take umbrage at the fact I'm existing still.
Well, I think that's a bridge we'll have to cross when we come to it. Obviously, we will back you up to the best of our abilities should things go south.
It'll definitely go south. Not because of me necessarily, but these are not nice men and women. They're not taught to be nice. They don't know anything about kindness. Shishi's probably the kindest person I've ever met. And no, there's no one like that there. You'd patch me up.
Nausea rising.
thing is as well, if one of his sons is there, then I mean, if possible, Mishishi, if you could get like a blood sample or something, that might be really useful in the future.
Okay, I'll pack some syringes.
This is a side note.
Well, thank you for sharing this with us.
That's something I like getting into, really. He's
Oh,
kind of like, it's on his third drink now.
Well, look, so if I'm correct, the plan is we grapple onto an asteroid, we then attach ourselves to the bottom of their ship.
Yeah.
We burn through the hull as we make a seal. As we're doing that, I will attempt to lock in on the way emanations of the artifact in question. Then we'll try and make up, because obviously we can't make an exact plan of how to get there since we don't know where it is on the ship yet. Once we've located it, we'll try and make our way there as quickly as possible, retrieve the artifact, and then get out. We've got a bit of a description of these pirates, so we're going to go in fully loaded, locked and loaded, looking like pirates, and hope that they mistake us for the crew. If we have to deal with anybody, obviously I can attempt to bend the wills of those who are weak in will, but if I'm doing that as we move throughout the ship, I'll quickly become exhausted. It's a very taxing ability, but we have it there if we need it for an emergency, because obviously we want to try and cause as a little attention to fall on us as we possibly can.
I want to get in and out quickly if we can. I feel I should tell you,
Under
though,
the circumstances, I'm all for shooting anybody that opposes us.
Yeah,
too.
then
Make sure we're all clear on that.
I am fine. However, what I'm thinking is if we can get to the artifact without having to shoot anyone, because we don't want the alarm to be raised, have to shoot our way through their crew, get the artifact, and then shoot our way back to the ship. If someone spots us when we're on our way out, that's a different matter.
I feel I should, for my time with them, mention that while they do like to kill most witnesses and not leave any traces, they do like to take captives and have playthings. So there's a good chance there may be innocents on board their ship.
Unfortunately, and forgive me if I sound harsh saying this, I do not believe it's going to be possible for us to rescue everyone on board. We don't have the manpower to fight off an entire pirate crew. The only thing I think we could potentially do is if we could find a way to release the captives, the ensuing chaos might aid our escape, and perhaps they might overpower the pirates, but we can't do that for them. We don't have the resources to mount a crew revolution against the pirates.
That's fair. Can't save everyone.
True.
So,
Wise words.
it is a shame. But Johannes, as a quick game question, am I able to generate some kind of gambit point or something like that by giving them instruction on like how the pirates, like how they fight, how they maneuver, how they like dress themselves? You know, the kind of things they're used to wearing, that kind of stuff.
The inside scoop.
Yeah.
So for the, I suppose your plan then, let's refer to your plan first. So what is it? The options being assault, deception, infiltration, mystic, social, transport.
It's either infiltration or mystic, as far as I can tell.
Or deception.
See, yeah, I'd have said deception or infiltration, because the mystic part of it is literally like, can we locate the artifact once we're on the ship?
Sounds like it's infiltration then.
See, I would have potentially said deception, because like infiltration's like when you... Oh no, actually it says infiltration, trespass unseen, so yeah, you're probably right, yeah.
Sneaking in somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea being that you fly in close with the asteroid as your shield.
Yeah,
and then...
we'll try and keep the asteroids between them and us so they don't spot us approaching. Yep. Then locate an asteroid that's going to go past their ship. So attach ourselves to like the underside of the asteroid, and as it goes like at its closest point, we'll detach onto their ship, and then we'll try and like burn our way on, basically.
Yep. All right. So infiltration it is. And Viper, you wanted to give some sort of benefit based on your inside information. Now, what sort of situation are you thinking of here?
This is more like if we're trying to pass ourselves off as pirates on board.
Yeah.
Then I could like give them some like the ways they kind of dressed, sort of like fake tattoos they might have. You know what I mean? Like they could like
The gang signs that
yeah,
they do.
yeah, and like some gang member
We
name
can
that I
probably
knew
just
of.
do tattoos if we need them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Feel like that was going to be a real situation.
Yeah. So, my suggestions, of course, it's up to you. My suggestions would be probably study or consort for if you wanted to transmit information of like this is how they act and behave and.
I'm guessing Skulkist.
Yeah, I was looking at your sheet and I was like, yeah, you probably would like to roll maybe scrap or something, like how they fight, but that's very difficult to do in like a diplomatic way.
That's fair. So it would be probably study, wouldn't it? That's fair.
Yeah. Which you have nothing
Zero.
in. So that would be either 2 stress for pushing yourself or accepting a devil's bargain would get you 1. Then you could use a gambit for a second die.
We have any gambits right now?
Yeah, we always start with 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although do we want to like burn it before we even got into the? Although to be fair, if we fail on this roll, we're going to be like right in the thick of it straight away. So, do you know what, Viper? Push yourself. Use that gambit.
Yeah, I'm going to push myself.
Use the gambit as well, man. You may as well, because we want to try and be like in as good a position as we can when. Like...
Is this a risky situation or?
I think risky, and this is before your engagement roll, so you're doing the prep work now.
Yeah. Is it a standard effect?
Yeah, I would say standard. Yeah.
Standard, and I get 2 bonus die. Push
2 dice.
And a gambit.
That is a 6.
Yes, come on.
So so when you're going, if it comes up,
I have spoken.
You're trying to spoof them, be like, "Our mateys, we are also pirates."
Parlay.
Yeah, you can have a extra level of effect. Just reminded me for when you're trying to lie to them about being pirates. Okay, so engagement roll then.
I think what we really need is someone who's like an expert at skulking for this, you know.
So item loadouts. So select your loads. Whatever.
Originally he was going to go light, but fuck it now. It's
it's on.
It's on.
And after that, okay, engagement roll. So we start with 1. Is it particularly bold or daring?
It's bold because we're using.
Is it bold or daring to the stealthing away onto a pirate ship and fighting our way through the decks?
Just the 3 of us.
Yeah, I would say so. However, is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Yeah.
Maybe not. It's fairly straightforward. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability in the target or hit them where they're weakest? I don't know. No, not really. And is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular Yeah, they've prepared for shit. They're looking out because they know that it's a possibility that someone might come looking. So we're at 1. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Well, yeah, we've already got some, haven't we?
Yeah, tell you what, Viper, do you want to trade the lying for this? Like an extra die in the...
yeah, I'm happy to,
yeah. Okay. Any enemies or rivals interfering in the operation?
Not that we know of.
Yeah, Not that
That
you
we
know of.
know of.
Yeah. Any other elements that you might want to consider?
It's a family matter.
I don't think so. So 2 dice. Who wants to be the lucky roller?
Is this engagement's just a fortune roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
And where Mushishi is rolling, and we have 3 and a 6. Alrighty then. Your guys' plans are always the best. They start out with the best situation, and then
It's never for want of planning.
no.
Yeah, that's the rep we're going to get. Oh, what's that group like? Oh, they're good at planning. What about the rest of it? About that.
All right, Viper, please. You could probably helm your ship as you are making the infiltration,
yes, I can.
and you are in a controlled position, standard effect.
So I've also got a thing. I'll just double check this out. Is this a speed related roll at all?
I don't think so. I think it's more about maneuvering.
Right. Okay.
I was going to say, just to point out, we should have got an extra dice for the engagement roll because of the Cerberus.
Because of the mission.
No, but because it's an infiltration deception mission.
Can you do better than a 6?
Yeah, if you roll a second 6, then it's meaningful. So give me another one.
Yeah, because we could potentially get another gambit if you get another 6.
Okay, so what that means is, Viper, you're not helming this shit, after all, because you're already inside. That's what the second 6 means. So it means that you've already overcome the first obstacle, and you're in a controlled position for what's next. So the camera follows you in. You do the thing. You land on the surface of this cruiser. You cut your way in. You're in a maintenance corridor. You're locked and loaded. What do you do?
Can I say as well that when we've docked in, I've sort of picked an entry point, which I believe is like on the main spine of the ship, so it should be a relatively easy location
best
to get
access.
back to. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so as we first come on board, I'm going to try and quieten all the sort of noise of like the maintenance and stuff, and focus inwards. And I'm going to try and reach out and attune myself to the flows of the way and see if I can pick up on any sort of way emanations from this artifact. I've had contact with numerous other artifacts, so I think I'm probably getting pretty used to like how they sort of feel in relation to the way. So I'm just going to sort of focus and see if I can locate it, or at least get a rough direction.
Yep. Feel free to make your action roll. What are you using?
Attune.
No, really?
Yeah.
So position is controlled.
Okay. Does anyone mind if I use one of the gambits?
Not at all.
Okay.
As I say, strapping all the guns on.
So I use a gambit for a bonus dice. Oh, boom! It's a 6.
Yeah, good. So you do it.
As I have foreseen.
You can tell that it is in. The thing is, you don't get the map, right?
Yeah.
So you know where it is. Your mystic compass points towards it, and you know the rough distance.
Okay, so I think I'll tell you guys. I can sense the presence of the artifact, and I'll sort of give them like the rough direction and the distance in case we get separated. And then we're on like a pleasure liner effectively.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they probably have like computers you can access with like maps of the ship.
Yeah.
Because it's like a tourist dealio.
Yes.
So if we can find one of those sort of public access terminals and bring up a map of the ship. I'm going to try and use that in a sort of divinatory way to like say, oh, like, this, I think it's about here. We need to go down these corridors and up this floor and whatever to get there, so we can get more of an idea.
All right, so I presume everyone follows Zenith in, looking for one of these tourism information access terminals. And yeah, you need to get away from... Yeah.
Sorry, as we drag ourselves in, we're like a maintenance corridor, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look around for like any like sheets of metal or anything we can basically like put over the hole while we've like burnt our way in, just to like disguise it. Because I don't want some like pirate coming along going, like, what's this doing here?
Okay, give me a roll for disguising stuff.
Okay. I've no idea what this would be.
If you look at this, there's the actions laid out and sort of what they are.
Okay, cool.
So you can use that as a reference.
Okay, I'm going to suggest skulk because it's about misdirection.
Yeah.
Which doesn't benefit me at all because I have like no ability in that.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to roll it and see what happens. So I presume is this desperate or are we still controlled?
It's still controlled until you leave the corridor, which you will be soon. But
okay.
Yep.
4 and a 5. Oh, 0 dice. Take the lowest result, so it's a full.
Yep. Which, yeah, that's. You hesitate, withdraw, and try a different approach, or else do it with a minor consequence.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of nudge Viper and say, oh, I think we need to camouflage this entrance hole. I've tried to do it a bit, but I really don't think what I've thrown together is going to like pass muster. Do you think you can do any better? I mean, I've got the first clue about what these ships are supposed to look like.
Yeah, so you've put together some like panels that you might use, but I think the damage is such that you don't really don't really know how to do that. So
I'm pretty much handing it off to Viper and saying, have you got any ideas? You know more about ships than I do. I've just basically thrown like a tarp over it.
Yeah. So I'll go back into our ship, grab like a kind of a spare kind of seal thing we'd have for the ship, and just kind of come back out and sort of makeshift look like it's been welded on, like an access thing.
Yeah.
That can require a secondary roll.
Yeah. The idea here is that if you make a shit job of this, someone might notice.
Spot it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm also gonna. I don't know if this counts as a flashback. I'm gonna leave the droid on the ship as a kind of detection thing. So
droid on which ship? Your ship?
Yeah. So if someone
okay.
comes
So
aboard,
please mark the Urbot on your sheet.
I don't think it's actually on my sheet.
Yeah, it is. It should be. It's a fine Urbot. Should be a thing.
Is it on this? Is it on the ship sheet? Maybe.
No. It should be on yours because it's a pilot thing.
Oh, space.
Let me.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
Dude.
At the very top, find small Urbot under find customized space chute.
Oh right. Okay. All that stuff. Right. Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Right. Sorted. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So it's an Urbot, so it has an AI core, so it is functional. You can talk to it via your comm stuff, and it can act as a person because it's smart that way.
Speaking of what, I was going to say, I suggest we all tick off communicator on our loads.
Yeah. Cool. So is this skulk roll again?
Feel free to tell me what you're rolling.
Yeah, I think I'd go skulk in this case.
I'd
try and.
So it's not so much that you're actually welding anything; it's more about you're making it look like it's something that it isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're still in control situation at the moment, so I'll effect standard and then.
Yeah, you do it. Ooh. So I guess you disguise it as like, oh, this is some old battle wounds, or like a malfunction that's been patched up.
You can actually see when he's doing it, he looks a little uncomfortable as he's like doing it. He sort of turns around to Zenith and says, "I didn't really think my history as a pirate would come in so handy here."
Hey, let's look on the bright side. At least you've got those skills. Hopefully we can make it out of here with the minimum of disruption. Do we get another gambit for that roll? Sweet.
Ching ching. Yeah, just wait until you start hearing the screams.
Yeah, so then, like I say, look for one of these public access terminals, see if we can find like a map or a layout of the ship. I know it's probably not going to be 100% accurate, it's like the tourist map, but
Yeah.
it's better than what we've got at the minute.
Yep. All right, so you leave the maintenance corridor, you go into the public areas of the cruiser, you find one of these terminals, you call up the sort of deck plan available to passengers, and yeah, please give me a roll for trying to figure out where, like triangulating basically where the artifact is. You have the rough idea, but if you want specifics, then
okay, let's have a look at what sort of roll I think this might be. Right, so I'm guessing it's probably a hack roll. I am not the person you want to be making this roll, guys.
I don't have.
As you probably see, as I'm sort of like looking at the terminal, looking at the keys, and I'm like,
Oh no, mate.
Can you not attune to this thing? It's not possible.
it doesn't quite work like that, Viper. I'm already attuned.
Please illuminate the way to me.
I'm already attuned to the artifact, but I need to cross-reference what I know with what's on this system. But I've focused all my life on mastering the inner self and not technological gadgetry like this.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps I could study this problem. Study this map. And
feel free.
we could try and work between us, Zenith.
I think that's a good idea, Mashishi.
Please be my guest.
Please go ahead.
Yep, so you're studying, and
5 and a 2.
5 and a 2.
Yep.
Okay. So it is risky and it is standard effect. So we are looking at, you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, complication occurs, desperate. Yeah. So I would say that the consequence would be you go into your position becomes desperate rather than risky, as you accessing the terminal isn't something that's supposed to happen, and someone picks it up. You can resist this, of course, every time. You can do that. Yeah, and you can do that by rolling one of your 3 inside prowess and resolve, the most fitting one, and the cost is 6 minus the highest that you rolled. If you want to resist, you don't have to.
There's no penalty to trying to resist, is there? You can always try and resist.
And you will
It costs
always.
you 2 stress, right?
It costs you 6 stress minus the highest that you rolled.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, may as well.
All right. So probably, I guess, insight then, because you were studying the thing. Okay, so 1 stress.
Verify.
Yep. It
So
costs
1
you.
stress.
Yep. Yep. So you're quick enough in your triangulation between yourself and Zenith. Zenith is trying to tell you that it's that direction clearly, and it's kind of like a little bit lower than the horizon, and then you're trying to scroll up the map and the decks to try and figure it out, and you can tell that it's in sort of like midship, like talking about decks, it's sort of in the middle, and it's to the front of the ship, the cruiser rather, and it's a sort of leisure area, which there's numerous of these, but it's a sort of like oasis I think it is actually just oasis on the map, which seems to be some kind of a. It's maybe a nightclub or a lounge area of some kind, maybe a restaurant as well.
One of those places with a swimming pool, I expect.
Yeah, and then
Let's head that way
Okay.
as quickly and quietly as we can.
Okay, lead the way, Mishishu.
all right. So I guess you're trying to be smooth with the travel. Are we pretending to be pirates, or are we skulking about, trying not to be seen at all?
I think we're probably just trying to like balls out, just like strutting around like we own the place, like we're pirates.
All right. Who wants to make the role to appear as pirates? Because you will be passing some patrols on the way there.
I would suggest Viper, since he knows the most about the pirates. You're muted.
You're
Viper.
muted.
Yeah, this is your show, Viper. Go on, do the role.
Now's your time to shine, Viper.
Now's your time to shine. Yes, I'll try and. I'm thinking I'll just try and look like we're doing stuff that pirates would be doing.
Move like checker. I get
Like like when we hear them coming, we start looting a room or something like that, so they think that we're just.
We just break out the grog.
No, we'll look like we're actually checking rooms and stuff for shit to steal.
Yeah. Quick pillage.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds great. So you're in one of these passenger corridors. There's some cabins, and there's some, I suppose, like some vending machines on the corridor as well. And you can hear that there's a patrol of some kind of them coming up behind one of these turns in the corridor. So yeah, Viper, what are you rolling as you let your comrades know that quick pillage?
Yeah, maybe like smash open the vending machine and just look like grabbing some food or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna be like, do you want a drink or anything? Do you want to? I found this shit. That'd be. Can I deceive somebody with skulk? I don't know if I've had that discussion with skulk is just being stealthy.
Yeah, we've had that. I think every single time that we play.
It's because.
Skulk is
it's
about
sway.
unseen, and you're specifically trying not to do that. You're trying to be seen as something else.
What if I was being overly aggressive? Would that count as a scrap roll?
If you want to fight the vending machine, we will go with scrap.
Yes. Yeah. I'll look like I'm actually taking my frustration out on it.
Yeah.
I'm working with what I got.
Yeah. I know, and it's good. It's working. I just wanted you to tell me what's going on.
Look on the bright side, Viper. If it goes really bad, I can just be like, you met another group of pirates. Now you can go about your business.
Yeah, the pirate insurance.
Yeah, I'll tell them to hang back, and I'll sort of deal with it. Like tell them to hang in one of the rooms, and I'll be like, like kicking it.
Yeah, give me a roll.
Okay, scrap. Come on, is this?
I think this is desperate. This is desperate. Fighting a vending machine to look like a pirate is.
Give me that. What would you? Okay, standard effect.
I would say limited effect. Now, what you can do is take stress and increase either.
The effect or the
I mean, increase your dice or the effect, and you can take a devil's bargain instead of the stress if you want to.
What would the devil's bargain be in this case?
The devil's bargain in this instance would be that that there is actual damage that people need to fix in the maintenance corridor where you came through, and there will be a crew working on actual damage back there. They're not going to be, because we already established that they won't find your entrance, right? But they're going to be pulling down actual panels and doing actual work in there, like press ganged technicians.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I'll take that.
So press gang. So also pirates, but
I'm gonna
press
do that
gang
for an extra
technicians.
dice. An
Yeah,
extra
you get
dice.
an extra die or extra effect, whichever you.
So extra die. I'm gonna go bonus dice.
Yep.
Come on. Yeah.
You do it.
Get an extra gambit as well, I think.
Yep. Look at you rolling in.
I don't want to
Can
take
man,
stress right
we've got
now.
more gambits than the X-Men.
That doesn't take much though.
So I basically, yeah, like I'm punching this vending machine. I managed to punch through it eventually, grab a can of beer, and I throw it at the guy who's coming down the corridor, and just be like, "Here, take one. This one's mine, but you can have this."
I think yeah, he it was not prepared for this can tossing, so
And
the
if I knock
can
him out, that's just, you know what I mean? That's just
no
me solving it a different way.
no the there's two pirates coming around the corner that you toss the can of space brew at the first one entirely unprepared, so it hits him in the side and falls down, and he like looks at you confused. These are dressed as well, pirates from space, so they have some kind of overalls as like the baseline, and then they have different kinds of armor laid on
Yeah.
top. They look like vicious scrappers, basically.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and
Familiar
they
with them.
have it looks like they do have sort of like vacuum suit functionality, so if they were to put on helmets they would be fine in space. And yeah, the guy looks at you, his helmet is off, it's dangling at his neck, and looks at you
What?
quizzically and like gets the beer from the
Oh, you
from the
don't drink?
floor.
So guilty.
That, no, but that kind of thing gets a man shot around here. So maybe you consider not tossing beer around while we're on a job, as he cracks the beer.
Yeah, I'll take it into consideration. I got a drink.
Right.
Gotta stay
Okay.
hydrated. Where's the boss, by the way?
Up at the Oasis, and
Oasis.
the pirate drinks the beer like in one go, and then like
God.
crushes the can on his forehead and like tosses it away.
I was gonna sip the beer, but I went, nope, yep. It's lager on.
And
you want another?
So what did you do to the vending machine? You were punching it or kicking it, or?
Yeah, I was using like the heel of my gun until like I got like a good crack. Then I put the gun down and then just punched through. And
yeah, I think the pirate says, "Hell, I'll have the whole thing." Detaches what looks like a vibro hand axe from his belt, and like just walks up, starts wailing on the side, just to, like cut it open.
Aye. You see, I don't use those, guys. I hear they make your balls shrink. Vibration. Just yeah.
I think as the first one is carving into the vending machine, the second one just looks at you and shakes his head, like, and like smacks the other in the back and says, "We have to stop bringing these fucking new guys on jobs." Look at that one. Looks like a hegemonic, I don't know, university man. He's pointing at you in it. Hegemonic university man playing at being a sailor. He's talking very loudly so you can hear, but he's talking to his friend who's carving on the.
I think at that point, having just ticked the boxes on my load, I'm just going to let my my robes fall backwards to reveal like the two blaster pistols that I've got at my belt.
Yeah, Mr. Trash Talk like holds up a hand as you do this, like, Oh,
I'm gonna think. Well, I'm just gonna look at him dead calmly, and then I'm gonna be like, sort of raise an eyebrow.
watch out! And let me get a name for this guy.
That's some kind of badass here.
Yeah, watch out, Nav. We've got the fastest gun in the belt on board. Makes me feel all tingly inside, and also safe. And the axe guy is just not. He's not into it. He wants to get at the beer.
I'm going to laugh very loudly and say, he's got you there, dickhead. And reach out for a can of beer myself.
Oh yeah, the axe guy is just handing them out because it's pouring out now with the cans. And he has I think he takes out like a small satchel, like tosses in a couple, comes back up, lets the axe drop. It attaches itself to his belt, and cracks another can and starts drinking it rather more slowly this time, and says, "I like this stuff. It's the good, honest kind. The stuff you get at the Oasis. It tastes like hegemony. Don't like it. I like to live free." And crushes another can on his forehead, tosses it away, and says, "Well, you want to see the boss then?"
Yeah, in a minute. I'm just getting a drink.
It presses a can against your chest.
Yeah, I get it.
There's your drink.
Yeah, I'll go find him. It's alright, you guys
Yeah.
can continue.
Yeah, I think you better. As he cracks a third one.
Alright.
At which point, with Viper having said, "Yeah, we're going to find him," I'm just going to start like walking off because, as far as I'm saying, he said, "Yeah, we're going to go and find him." So it should look like we're going to go and find him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Having looked at the map, like we know where the Oasis bit is, so I'm just going to start like walking down the corridor towards that area.
Yep. All right, so we did it. We made new friends, and you go into the Oasis, which is this, as Mushishi speculated, it's a very large area filled with different kinds of services for rich folks wanting to do a cruise in space. It has a restaurant on one side here at the start, where like if you just want to come in and eat, there's the restaurant bit. Then further in, you have the sort of like lounge bar here, and then you have like a music area if you want to get into some of that, and then there's the sort of like bar / pool area with a massive viewing. I think it's because it's in the middle of the ship, so it's a massive like view screen of the outside of the ship. So basically, it's a screen window to space, so that you can swim in the pool underneath the stars in space.
Was it like an actual like view screen?
Yeah, no, it's a like a
TV.
Yeah, it's not a window. It's
I was going to say, because that looks a bit dangerous.
Yeah, no, that is not good.
Okay, so as we're walking in, sort of using the attunement I did earlier, I'm going to be trying to sort of leading us in the direction where we know the artifact to be.
Yeah. So by now you have a good idea of where it is because you're quite close. So we have there's a whole bunch of pirates around here. The restaurant bit is where you can tell a good number of captives are. They're just like sat around, not on the actual restaurant chairs, but on the floor. They've cleared the area basically as like a pen for these captives. It's not all of them by any means, but there's a good number of them here, and it looks like they're keeping them here because you have the restaurant right there, so it's easy access to food, so they can just toss in cans out of the kitchen. And there's guards standing outside the prisoner pen, and you can tell that it's somewhere by the pool, the artifact itself, and there's a whole lot of pirates around this whole Oasis area in general.
Yeah, so I'm thinking just again try and mingle with the pirates that are there, so pretty openly, so we don't look too suspicious, and just try and like circulate. We all know what the artifact looks like, so try and circulate and see if we can get like a glimpse of like actually where it is.
Yep. All right. So you do the rounds as
Do
best
we
you.
have a description of the guy we were looking for, the guy who had the artifact originally?
Oh yeah, probably.
Garou.
Garrel is
Carol.
yeah. Garrel is human, male, very dark skin, and middle-aged, and has a goatee, bald. And you haven't seen him on your like. Let's do a quick scan here.
Okay, I want to take a stroll past the prisoner pen and have a good look for him.
Yep. You don't see him there, but you see a lot of rich folks in what used to be nice clothing, but they've been worn a bit now, and you can tell that there's a shit bucket in the corner, which glamorous living. Yeah, they look miserable, and I think you can tell there's a corpse also in the corner, in like an opposite corner where no one wants to go, and you probably figure that that was the guy who couldn't like keep his mouth shut, or who made comments about stuff, and they shot him as an example, and the corpse is just there for everyone to remember that they don't do that. Yeah, you don't spot Garrel there, and
Roughly how many people are there?
I would say like 24 at the restaurant area pen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you can tell by the size of the ship that there's a whole lot more, but they're probably corralled elsewhere. Doing the rounds here and trying to sort of keep to yourselves as much as you can. The guards do nod in your direction,
give the old
a
up.
bit. Yeah, and because they can tell that if you're like showing your weapons around. By the way, if you want to show weapons, mark your weapons because you have them on the sheets. At the back, because you know where it is, you can tell at the edge of the pool there is the sort of like lawn chair area. I don't know what they would be called in a like an indoor swimming pool, but these like relaxing area with various chairs and surfaces to lay down on for massages or just lounging around, chilling. There are also small tables where you can put your drinks and whatnot while you go to the pool and stuff. On one of those tables, there is a very similar looking jewelry box that you know from the hologram briefing with Duram.
Am I sensing anything of the way about it?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. The artifact is in the box.
Okay. So and, after, sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say the Viper. You can tell immediately who's in charge as she turns around from having chatted up a bunch of pirates. It is, and let me refer again to the notes that I get it right.
Uh-oh. I've got a bad feeling about this.
No, it's a woman, one of the captains of the raiders, called Samara Red. So it's Captain Red. You know her from your time to be extremely cold in manner. So whereas like some pirate captains might be sort of like full of fire and brimstone and being sort of aggressive, Samara is just pure ice in her veins, and also she doesn't shy away from let's say, getting physical. So someone steps out of line, she doesn't really think twice about just blowing their brains out and being like anyone else.
She deals with it personally.
Yeah, and she doesn't. Like, she doesn't deputize any of that. She does it herself.
She enjoys it.
So
yeah, maybe even not that. It's just like pure force being projected. Like, if you step out of line, I will rip your spine out. That's just the facts.
Would I know if she would recognize me? Like if we interacted?
Probably, yeah, because she's a captain.
Sorry, you got
right,
a
I'm gonna
mask
try.
on.
I'm putting my mask. I'm trying to like put my mask on. I'm trying to look. I'm sort of getting behind Mushishi and Zenith at the moment to try anything in there. But I do like whispering in my communicator, like, that's the captain. She's a very dangerous woman. Very careful.
Okay, so taking that information into account,
Her
looking
name's
at
Samara Red.
okay. So looking at where the artifact is, like, are there people like guarding it? Are there people close to it? What's
Yeah,
the sort of
they're
lie of
not.
the land?
They're not really guarding it. It looks like they've obviously been spending time at the pool, the pirates. However, no one's in their speedos or like swimming trunks.
That would be really weird.
Yeah.
If they were all like.
But they've
big
been hanging
fight.
out. There's a bunch of drinks there, like empty glasses and whatnot, some food. And the artifact is sort of like staying. No one's guarding it, but there's pirates around, and you can tell that someone's in the pool when they resurface. And there's a couple of pirates who just like raise up. I think they're like lengths of chain, and they raise it up, and on like tied to a steel pole between these two lengths of chain is Garrel, who is lifted out from the pool and just and like vomits water immediately when there's even a bit of air for him to breathe.
I like to think as that happens, like my eyes like never leave the artifact.
Yep. So like, you're staring that way, and Garrel is there trying to breathe.
And like without my voice wavering at all, I'm just going to say to the other guys like very quietly, I believe I can get to the artifact, but we're going to need some sort of distraction. And obviously my plan would be to use my kinetics ability to start whoop it into my hand, but obviously if I do that in front of all the pirates, they're going to be like
Yep.
So we need some sort of distraction. Now my initial thoughts, Viper and Mushishi, are to like roll a detonator to the far end of the room, and when it blows up and everyone reacts to that, and then we make like a tree and get the fuck
Have no
out.
problem with this, although I prefer if you aimed for the one that's already dead.
Well, I wasn't going to roll it to anyone specific. I was going to roll it to the far end of the room, so there'll be a big explosion at the far end of the room. When they react and all their attention's drawn with the explosion, we'll obviously be ready for it.
Yeah, I'm pointing out the corner where there's like a dead body and not anybody else.
Okay. So
Are we intending to get?
I'll
this
also
guy?
point out that not too far away from there is a shit bucket, which might also cause quite a hefty distraction if it was to be hit by a detonator.
Oh yeah. I tell you what. Tell you what we'll do
no.
then. Is,
No, don't you
no,
dare,
it's
John.
happening, man. As we're circling round, what I'll do is, because I assume these detonators are like made to be able to like go underwater and whatever. They're like tech. So what I'll do is I'll set it with like, I don't know, like a good few minutes on the timer. As we're circulating around, I'm just going to like drop it into the ship bucket, circulate back round to where we were standing previously, and I'll be obviously I've set the timer, so I'll be counting in my head. When it gets close to it, I'm going to be like ready, like focusing the way. As soon as there's like a massive explosion and like shit like fountains up into the air, and everyone's like, I'm just going to be like. Pull
There's
the
no cleaning stuff on my character sheet here, so.
So that's what you've got that handy droid for. Yeah, so that's the plan. Poo explosion, yoink the artifact, and then while in the chaos of like there's a big explosion, everyone's like wondering what's going on, we can hopefully like slide our way out.
Yeah. Give me a fortune roll, John. This is just to see if they have a way sensitive individual with them.
Okay, am I just rolling 1 dice?
Yeah, just the one.
You can use a gambit if you want, mate.
No, I'm alright. 6.
Oh, this roll 20 is being sleepy again.
It was a 6.
Yep. So, as it happens, not here at least. So yeah, please make me a roll.
Okay, well, I don't need to make a roll for my kinetics ability.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
costs
this
me
is
the 2
before
stress.
that.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, the distraction bit is what we're rolling for.
Okay. And I presume it's risky.
It would be blowing up shit buckets. I think is desperate in this situation. Just because.
This is some desperate shit.
Literally. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use one of the gambits.
All right.
Okay, I have just rolled. I think roll 20's just been a bit slow again.
Yep.
6.
You guys are rolling really well. Oh,
Cerberus crew represent.
I'm going to take him to Brown
It's the
Town.
power of the 3-headed dog.
Yeah.
Although now I'm going to get covered in shit, though.
And I'll take the 2 stress for the weight power as well.
Yep. All right. So what happens is you do the tour of the oasis. You see Garrel being dunked again into the pool, and Samara is having some drinks with some of the other pirates at the far end of the oasis, and you've dropped the detonator in the shit bucket, and off it goes, sending a blast wave of heated shit into every which way, and you summon the jewelry box with your way powers, and so it arrives in your arms, and
I'm gonna tuck it under my robes as quickly as I can. So
good. So I think you hear folks basically yelling about someone having arrived on board and causing an attack of some kind. They seem to be reacting to this as if someone had done what they did, so like board in secret and then try and mount a rescue attempt. Yeah, who would do that?
I think this is probably the time for us to like slide out of the oasis.
Yeah, just skedaddle out.
Yeah.
Is there
Are we leaving-
any chance of us retrieving Geralt?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Nah, we've got the artifact. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
but you've got a
Sweet,
lightsaber. You could go and chop those
artifact.
chains off.
I see Mashishi's look, and I understand. I'm like, yeah, he's as good as dead if we don't get him out of here.
I'm
There's
afraid.
a chance.
Whereas I think all that
Can
matters
we
is
at
this
least
sweet,
kill him
sweet
so he's not
artifact.
going to spread any more, share any more information that he shouldn't be before he dies a miserable, painful death?
I'm pretty sure if he had any important information, then they would have prioritised rescuing him. And they didn't.
He's a contact that we could certainly use if we could rescue him.
I don't think we can. We've literally got a few more seconds before they get their shit together, and we need to use those few seconds to get
in
out.
that ensuing panic, I'm going to shoot him in the head.
All right, good.
And I'm gonna slide out the room.
Give me a roll for the shot.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not an executioner.
It's actually the stuff
And
setting
yet.
for accident.
So this is desperate. So, and you do it, yeah, cool. So please, guys, remember to
Jumping.
write down
Yeah.
your XP for the, or rather, check the,
I've had one desperate
Yeah.
action.
Did
so
I get an XP there for that
Yeah.
one?
yeah, for
Cool.
the presumably scrap. So it would be prowess then.
I rolled the doctor skill because I was using the damage
Oh,
Jim's
yeah,
skill.
yeah.
So it's insight again.
Yeah, I guess that's how it works.
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a sci-fi executioner.
I'm a
So-
doctor, not a fully fledged martial artist.
So the pirates are basically mounting a defense for what they presume to be an attack now that the breaching charge went off or something. And in the panic, you have a very quick discussion of like, should we rescue him? God damn it, we don't have the time. And then Mushishi making the call in slow motion, bringing up the gun, and the blaster bolt screams, and they
It's time for Android running.
they've yeah, it's fucking D1000 over there. So they've let go of Garrel, and he's just like on the edge of the pool, and it hits him at the top of the spine, and he slides into the pool, dragged down by the chains.
Yeah, time to cheese it, lads.
Yep.
Okay,
Run
so
away.
I'm about 2 minutes ahead of you.
Yeah. Okay, good. I think then we cut back to, and there's a whole like alert going on now. Red lights.
Docking Bay 94, stormtroopers at the door.
yeah. So we get back to the maintenance corridor where you started, and there's Nav and his friend, and they're watching over a gang of like these enslaved technicians who have torn down a piece of wall paneling, and they're working on the various pipes and wiring inside. And they just turn to look at you as you rush into the corridor. It's like, shouldn't you be at the?
There
What's
is
going on there?
There is nothing suspicious here. There has been an attack in the Oasis, and you should go and investigate.
All right, then, John. See you later.
Okay, so are you using a gambit or the?
I'll use one of the gambits because I can affect a small group with it.
Use the gambit.
Yeah.
Did I get an extra gambit when I rolled that 6 as well?
You did.
Did you use a gambit for that roll? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, so you did. So we are back to 2. So you they blink a bit, and I think the other one says, "Hey Nav, just came over the grapevine. There's been an attack at the Oasis. We should probably go." And he's like, yeah. And they sort of, in this half daze, they like rush off, and the technicians are just like,
Damn newbies.
Do you know what? I'm going to use another gambit. I'm like, you should go with them as well. There may be maintenance that requires
I don't think
doing.
you need to. You just. I think you should go with them as well.
Oh yeah. I'll let Viper just try like telling them first if they go with that. I won't bother
I
walking
think
out
you
of the
should
way.
go as well.
okay. And they presume that you're pirates as well, so they head off.
Now, as we're sort of like pulling up the boards and like jumping back into a
Hey,
ship.
Tex, do you want to get out of here? To these like prisoner technicians that they've just left there
I think they're pirates as
with
well.
us. I thought they were like prisoners.
Yeah, they're not with the pirates. They are.
Yeah, they're part of the crew of the ship.
In which case, do you want me to just get them on board very quickly?
Yeah.
So I can make them jump.
Yeah, so after the pirates are gone and they're like, oh yeah, maybe we should go with them, I'm just going to be like, what you should do is follow us and remain calm and quiet. And I'll use another gambit.
Yep.
Then basically we all pile on the ship. As we're piling onto our ship, I'm going to say to Viper and Mushishi, have either of you guys got another detonator on you?
Yeah.
In which case, what I suggest you do is, you know how long it's going to take us to detach and fly away to a safe distance. Mm-hmm. Set your detonator to that. Leave it on the edge. We don't bother plugging the hole or anything. We blast off into space. When we're at a safe distance, the detonator goes off. It'll enlarge the hole that we've already cut in the hull, and they'll have more to worry about than following us, even if they do detect us.
You got it.
All right, and so you do. You fly away, Viper.
Yep.
And give me a roll.
It's a helm roll.
Whatever you're using to fly. I presume Skulk
Yeah,
could be a thing.
yeah.
Oh, can you use Skulk for piloting?
You can if you can word it correctly.
Damn it, I'm not a
Okey-dokey.
pilot, I'm an assassin.
This again. This is not a speed related role, is it? This is just general piloting.
I guess we could go for speed as well. This is you trying to make a way in time before they can detect you.
Right, because it just said
And before the bomb goes off.
I've got an ability that says you have potence on all speed related rolls.
No, good.
So that's why I was just asking.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
Yeah,
finding
so
out.
go ahead, give me a roll.
Okay.
So what that means is you are, I think because there's been plenty of time, so it's a desperate roll, but however, you will have great effect because of your potence.
Feel free to use the gambit if you wish, Viper.
Yeah, all right, yeah, just in case.
All right. Yep.
And at this point, could I actually, using the way, could I actually help guide him away? I give him a bonus dice by is it 1 or 2 stress?
One stress.
Okay, so
And
I'm a
Viper,
bonus dice.
Yeah, Viper, please roll one more.
Yeah, okay.
And it's only meaningful if it's a 6.
Yeah.
It isn't. Okay, good. So yeah, please mark your XP, and you do it. You fly away from the edge of this asteroid belt where you know that the horizon was hidden, and you're free to follow the dark lanes back to civilization in the IOTA system. Job well done. I guess we blew up some shit, literally, and...
one more thing, right? Those technicians, they know who they work for, right? It's going to be some big company that owns that cruise ship.
Yes.
I want to take them back, absolutely free of charge, thank you very much. And then I want to sell that company the method by which we located that ship in the first place, so that they can go and rescue the rest of their crew.
Okay.
Very good.
That sounds good. All right,
Nice.
So the montage of you returning to civilization, you can...
I'm having a victory cigar, by the way.
I'm going to have one as well. I'll light it with my lightsaber.
By the way, and this is a thing from the book, Viper, please tell us, where do you get your victory cigars, and how are they special?
Okay.
And how many do you have? Are they rare?
So I get them from my friend Triv, the ship mechanic.
Okay, so probably probably not super rare.
Well, he gets them apparently. These are like, they all come from a particular issue of a Legion unit, like a battalion, that probably had this great victory and it's meant to be lucky. So I don't have loads of them, but they're like a good luck charm.
So they're actually military rations that are being skimmed by someone.
Yeah, but this was from a while ago. These are like, you know, if someone really likes you, they give you like a small
vintage military ration.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Great. So you take out the cigars with the big seal on them, with the 5-1 for the 51st Legion.
Just take out one and cut it into 3 with a cigar cutter, and I'll just smoke a third. You know, don't want to ruin all your cigars.
Yeah. Yep.
Cut a cigar into 3, you heathen!
It's a mystic.
To be fair,
he says
I probably wouldn't suggest that because I'm probably hunched over like the artifact, be like, my precious.
I'm just sat there thinking, Samara's going to be so mad. Yes. She'll never even know I was there.
I don't know the fact we went in, you were like, I don't know if I'll be able to control myself, or I'm really nervous about this. And now we're going away, you got the big cigar out, and you're like, yeah, I did him good.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought I was going to get shanked in that mission.
Yeah, again, you rolled so many 6s. It was a stark contrast to our desert adventures from last time.
Vending machines beware.
Yeah, yeah. Are you a vending machine? Because damn.
Dennis, do you have any idea what that thing does?
Speaking of which, I'm going to be examining it at the moment, see if I can work out what it does.
in case it's dangerous.
Sitting there with my
this is
hood
the thing
pulled
where
up, lit from below, with the glow of the artifact.
Yeah, it's like, I'm glad you asked, because this is the real mission.
Tentacles. Yeah, please, Zenith, feel free to give me a roll for studying the artifact.
Okay, what's the position?
I think it's desperate.
Oh, splendid. I'm going to use the last gambit.
There's no gambit. I just left it there
okay.
because I didn't want to delete the token.
Alright, no problems.
Yep.
So I'll just go for the standard roll. 6.
All right. So well, first of all, you open the box, I presume. Inside inside is it looks like if I say kunai, Kunai, do you know what that is?
Like a ninja thing.
It's
blade.
Like a teardrop shaped blade thing with a small handle. It looks like that, and it has this like slight inner sort of halo to it of dark blue, and it seems to be made of some, I suppose it would be like a dark metal-ish material. And when you meditate upon it, you come away with the understanding that it is a key, as much as the name already indicates, but it is a key for jump gates somehow. It literally acts as a key in opening the way with precursor technology.
Okay, so I'll obviously relate that to you guys as I'm sort of attuning myself to it.
So it's like it's like a key. It's just like a key.
It seems to actually be some kind of opening device for jump gates.
Look, Mashishi, I didn't even study the way for years, and look, I understand what a key is. Like, what kind of door can it open?
It's for jump gates of some kind.
That sounds like my kind of fun.
So, however, because I want to get in with the night speakers, so I'm still going to suggest we like take it back and deliver it as planned. But I'm going to try and sort of leverage that if I can to basically being like, oh, we silenced you guys, so we couldn't rescue him, but we stopped him from revealing any further information. Oh, and here's your key. We like the way you led us to it, etc. And I'm going to try and use it as an in to basically go like, your organisation. I want in.
Do you know if that opens a particular door or any door?
I don't know. I don't have that level of expertise yet. But yeah, my hope is, like I say, when we deliver it, I can leverage it to potentially get in like some sort of future membership to the Night Speakers.
Or you could keep it and try and study to find out where the thing is that opens it exists.
I could do, and I won't deny that has a certain appeal. However, I believe that if I can use this as an in with the Night Speakers, we're far more likely in the long term to find more way artifacts and potentially open up more contacts and resources for us as a whole. So I'm sacrificing in the short term to gain in the long term.
You don't think the pirates have any way of tracking that thing, right? We're not going to lead it back to the Night
in which case it's
they almost certainly know who they took it from if they managed to pick out Garrett straight away.
Well, put it this way,
and they'll know who retrieved it for him.
Well, if they do have a way of tracking it, that's even more of a reason for us not to be keeping hold of it any longer than absolutely necessary.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
So yeah, so we'll go and deliver it. And like I say, I'm going to be like, are you accepting job applications?
This also was an official bounty.
Yeah.
So we've made bank.
Yeah.
So, does that mean we get some creds?
Yes. So.
Damn it! You're a doctor, not Scrooge McDuck.
And how much is a map to your like flagship fucking luxury liner full of rich people worth to you?
Give me a roll for that, actually. Like how well the negotiations go.
I assume that would be consorting, yes?
That sounds good.
That sounds like the kind of I'd be welcome as a doctor. What with me being extra dice to consorts when offering to tend people in need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm rolling, yeah, 2 dice.
And if you want, you can use that gambit. Because I rolled a 6, so we've actually got a
yes,
gambit.
please.
Yeah.
Ooh, best one was a 4.
Okay. So yeah, you can do it. However, unless you resist the consequence, I think there's let's say this is okay. So there's going to be 2 extra heat. Just because you're talking to a megacorp about, hey, so you know how there's this dark ways.
I'm making them aware of us and the fact
that you know where pirates are for some reason.
That we were able to locate where pirates were.
Yep.
By this method specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So.
Right. So I get a 4 and a 3 on resist.
Okay. So 2 stress for that.
2 stress.
Yep. Yep. So the negotiations go well, and you get. I think it's probably 3 cred for.
Sweet.
Like a sort of.
So if you fill up all 4 of the cred boxes.
Yeah, you cannot hold any more as like carry around money. So now we can talk a little bit about what is it called? Stash. So stash is your long-term savings. Now, it also determines a bunch of other stuff, and let me find this in Le Book. Stash. Okay.
Because realistically, I'm going to immediately go and piss all of that money away on the nearest clinic I can locate.
Yeah. So.
Obviously, Zenith and Viper, we got 3, so it'll be 1 to each of you. But if we also get some for the actual item.
Yeah, 10 for the job well done.
Right.
So.
And are we doing like we did before with that 2 each and 6 for the ship? Sorry, 2 each and 4 for the ship. Yeah?
Yeah, we can do. Then we'll have filled the vault on the ship.
Cool.
I'm going to put some in my stash then.
I don't think you have a vault on the ship.
Oh, do we not?
Let's see. Yeah, it's a separate thing.
All right. In which case, the ship, the bank of the Cerberus is already full.
Yeah, we
need to buy some upgrades.
So stash is sort of your ambient wealthiness, and it is also the thing, Zenith, that determines sort of your ending scene for when your character retires.
Yeah.
And it also determines your sort of lifestyle. And if you look at your sheet, there is that's the Cerberus. So if you look at your sheet, you can carry around 4 cred, and then you have stash. So you can put as much as you want into your stash, and that's not something you can readily use.
Yeah.
However, it's in your account. If you want to retrieve it, it's going to be 2 for 1. So if you have 2 in the bank, you retrieve it, it will be 1 cred. And the other use for it is if you fill in one of those bars, like 10 in a row, you will have achieved a higher lifestyle as a result of your sort of wealthiness in general.
Okay, guys, so if we're getting 10, how about each of us put 3 in our stash? Then with the one that's left over, one of us can have that, and whoever has the 4 pays 1 for the ship upkeep.
I'm okay to pay the ship upkeep if need be.
Okay, so you put 4 in your stash, Mashishi puts 3, and I'll put 3.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
So, but I only have 3 in my stash after paying the upkeep of the ship, though.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, 3. Yeah. Because, technically, this felt like a personal mission, and Mashishi doesn't hold on to money that well, in the sense. It goes to a good home, but it goes.
Sweet. Money divided.
I have no idea what Zenith spends his money on, because he seems too enlightened to have worldly needs. Maybe like the weird books are really expensive.
Well, these precursor artifacts don't come cheap, man.
Can we spend money to upgrade the ship? Because I feel like this may be a good opportunity to do that if...
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. You can, however, use your advancement to gain more upgrades for the ship. Which we talk about.
So it costs XP, effectively.
Yeah. So when you gain an advancement for your ship, or rather crew, you can pick one playbook thing, so like a special ability, like your license, or you can tick 2 boxes for gear on your ship.
Cool.
Is this separate to our own character XP?
Yeah. We do the ship XP at the very end.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, we're only like 2 off getting a playbook advance for the ship. So hopefully we should do that. I reckon we should save up for that.
Now,
hard
can
knocks.
we spend our character XP on the ship's XP?
As a standard, I don't think so. However, if you guys,
you can put it either in your playbook or in your
stats,
whatever they're called, stats.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could also put it in the ship or not.
Yeah, not by default.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. Yeah, you cash in, you turn over the Aleph key to the night speakers, and you're given a luxurious bounty of creds. This was probably the biggest haul you've had yet. And you made good with the corp for some extra cred. And the night speakers, I will mark it down now, your relationship with them improves as a result. So, where are they? Yeah. So your relationship with them is now 2. So 2 out of 3. They are rather friendly with you now. And if you do 3 more jobs with them, they will be allied with you. And Zenith is making overtures towards joining their order. Okay, let's see.
He's trying hard.
Yeah. So we did the payoff and the upkeep. Have we paid for the ship?
Yeah.
Yep, good. Heat. All right, so I would say 2 heat smooth contained standard exposure. Probably +1 heat because of the high profile and well connected nature of the folks on board, and because some of them will have spotted
them with shit.
Yeah. the people who you painted with shit.
We did also then tell people where to find them to rescue them.
Yeah, which is good.
But we did splatter them with shit.
Yeah. And with your license, and being that Doram made it an official thing, it's -2, so 1 extra heat to the IOTA system for the crew. Okay, and then we are moving on to entanglements. So someone give me a 1 die roll.
It's a 2.
2. The Unquiet Black. Unquiet Black. An alien or way creature finds its way on board.
What?
Go on.
I'm guessing it was in the box. And when John opened the box, he let it out without realizing.
Yeah. Acquire the services of a mystic or exterminator to destroy or banish it, or deal with it yourself. Okay. Yeah.
That could be a fun story.
Okay, so parasites, cargo you weren't told was alive, strange creatures hiding in unmapped lanes, and bizarre physics effects from using your jump drives may past capacity can all apply here. So I think you picked up something. You picked up a passenger
On the dark lanes.
Yeah, the dark hyperspace lanes. So yeah, I guess we'll deal with that going forward then. There's something on board.
Oh no.
And yeah. Okay, we'll get back to that later. So downtime. Everyone gets 2 actions, and you can see the actions here.
Do we do XP before or after downtime?
Afterwards, I think. Yeah.
I would like to indulge my vice. I think with some of those creds, I think me and Viper are gonna hit that space casino like it's going out of fashion.
Yeah, I am. I'm
Cigars out on the space hogs. Cards
running
out.
into the family. I'm going to definitely be indulging my vice.
Yep. So you're rolling the lowest of your prowess, insight, and resolve.
Insight and resolve are the same, so it's just this.
That's 1 down for me.
4. 5. Nice.
All right. So.
Viper, don't forget you're going to need to do a spot of recovery as well. I think.
No, you got rid of my harm last session.
All right, cool.
Because you were an awesome doctor.
It
was only level 1 harm. So
I thought you'd taken like loads.
So Viper.
I took a trauma.
Viper, did you have more than 4 stress?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Good.
So I reduced it by 4.
Yep. All right.
5.
So that's 1 for the both of you. Anything else in it, Viper?
Might train a skill.
I think I'm going to continue working on my project.
Mm-hmm.
So, long-term project, roll of action, mark segments on the clock. Right, okay. What's the position for?
I think standard.
Okay.
It doesn't super apply here because the results are determined by the rule itself.
Cool. So it's all the 5s.
Okay, and 5 is it 2 segments?
Yeah, it's 2 segments. Yeah.
Okay.
Just 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
So the ship gives us a bonus if we train our prowess. Is that correct?
Yeah. If you hit the gem, you get to mark 2 instead of 1.
Okay. Yeah, I'll mark 2. Yeah. So I'll train my prowess. Continue.
Yep. Mushishi, anything interesting on the list?
I'm thinking indulge my vice and probably do some training.
Okay.
Oh, do I need to do a roll for indulging the vice?
Yeah.
I
The
do, don't I?
lowest of your insight, prowess, and resolve.
Right. Yeah. A 2 and a 4.
So you reduced your stress by 4.
Quality, I am completely de-stressed.
Did you have exactly 4?
Yep.
Okay. So that is right on the money.
And then train.
Yep.
Now, if I train my prowess, I get 2 for
Yep.
1, right?
Yep.
So if I do that, that fills up the bar. Now, do I then get a new triangle on my
Yep.
prowess?
Yeah. Whichever.
Marvelous.
Whichever.
I would like Viper to give me some skulking tips, if
Sure.
that's all right with him.
Well, what makes you think Viper knows anything about skulking?
No, he's actually using it in the kitchen. He's just making some stew. It's like, oh, I'm skulking. They call it the skulking stew.
Yeah, he's skulking because why you think he's making a stew? He's actually making a loaf of bread.
Yeah. Or was he pushed?
Hear that as you walk in, he just sort of like, there's like a puff of flour and he's gone. It's just like needing some dough. Like, you look around and he's just not there.
Magic.
Shazam.
Magic.
I like the idea of like everyone just constantly like figuring out that Viper's present because he's skulking everywhere. It's like, could you fucking stop like doing that Dracula shit?
I just like the idea that Viper's stuck for the next 3 days with Mushishi shadowing him at all times, learning how to move like Viper.
Yep, good times.
Okay.
All right. So you've made the night speakers more friendly than before. Let's do the ship XP as well.
Have we done our XP yet?
Oh yeah. We have a bunch of stuff to do yet. So look on your character sheets, and at the bottom you have the XP thing.
Desperate action, yeah. Mark them up. Address the tough challenge or wisdom of the way. Yep, a couple of times. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I'd probably say once. Struggled with issues from vice or trauma. Not really. So I'm one off an advancement.
Yep.
I'm thinking I did the first 2 at least twice each. That's a tough challenge with insight or compassion and express beliefs.
Yep.
So I'm going to level up my insight bar and have an extra level of doctor.
So those.
If I can, or can I not?
No, that is. Let's see. Yeah. So
I need to spend 2 on that bar to fill it up.
Oh yeah. So sorry, I was confused for a bit. So yeah. So if you did the first 2 things twice, that's 4.
Yeah.
And you can. So you can put them in your attributes or whatever. Or
so
the
if
playbook.
I put 2 on the insight, that buys it up. Can I then buy the level 3 of Doctor?
Yes.
Quality. And I'm going to drop the other 2 into Resolve because I've not brought that up at all yet.
Yep. Mega Doctor.
Yep.
or whatever it might be, executioner, who knows. So that's Mushishi. Then Zenith, you already did yours. Viper, have you done your XP?
I've done the 2 actions. I've not done the thing at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I got 2 desperate actions. Did I express a tough challenge of speed or flair? Does punching a vending machine count as flair?
I think you speeded away from the thing because that's literally what you did.
Yeah, I did. Boy. Boom. And I definitely express your beliefs, heritage, or background on
Yeah, a good couple of times. For that.
on a few times. I'm gonna say at least twice. You struggle with issues from your vice or trauma in the session.
No,
not really.
Not this time.
No.
Yeah. News. That's me. I didn't get a great deal, but mostly from my background. But it's enough to get another upgrade in prowess.
Nice.
At this point, you're more proud than man.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the Cerberus XP. So Mark 1 XP or 2 XP if they occur multiple times. Execute a successful extraction operation or capture of a bounty.
Yep.
Yes.
We did that once.
Yep.
Contend with challenges above your current station.
Yes.
I would say, yep. So that's the playbook advancement bit full.
And
Have we got any more XP before we worry about the advancement?
I think I would say the reputation bit because of Mushishi, blatantly, because you went and explicitly wanted to get the information out that.
Okay, so I've cleared the playbook advance. I'll stick another 1 in for that.
Yeah.
I think that still jibes with us being weird and honourable.
Yep.
Or strange and honourable, or whatever it was.
Yeah. And maybe I would suggest one for the bottom one as well, because I think you guys again expressed your we do have 2 individuals with the reckless, but the reckless is under control for now. You guys have things on lock and you do things smoothly.
Okay.
I would say that we definitely had some inner conflict from Viper there, and I think that we definitely had some drives to express when we went and gave them a good thumb of the nose at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 1 playbook advancement then.
Yeah.
Well,
so you can pick one of the special abilities or tick 2 boxes for any if you want to buy some new engine boxes, you can do that. If you want crew or ship upgrades, you can tick any 2 boxes on the sheet there.
I was going to say, guys, personally, I think we should tick the two boxes that will give us hard knocks. It gives us +1 gambit at the start of every session.
Yeah, go for it.
Boom. Start off with a feisty 2 gambit.
That is tasty.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, everything else is good in a certain situation, but it's extra gambit's good for everything.
Yeah, it's free money.
That's it.
Good. Yeah. So that was that for the adventures of the Cerberus and the 3 heads that just keep on barking.
That's it,
they
man.
cannot be contained.
That's it. We've got those 2 reckless snapping heads of the dog, and we've got the middle head of the dog that's actually, guys.
Yeah. It's
Can you just quiet down a bit?
Actually, woof woof, woof woof woof. Okay.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for running that. I very much enjoyed it.
Yep. That was
Thank you very much.
fun times. I predicted it might have gone wrong, but as usual, all 6s all day.
Because we're smooth operators.
Yeah.
We are so screwed when the dice give out.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that one session where roll 20s actually.
Yes, sorry, not today.
Why do you think I'm I want to get more gambits? I want to try and stack it up to so that when that bomb eventually drops, like we can minimise the damage.
It's going to go bad on us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Well, again, thank you very much. I think I'll stop the stream here.
Yep. Thanks for playing.
Really good game, Many thanks for running it.